Hello and welcome to the Wheel of Crime podcast, the podcast where two ladies play games, shout profanities, and laugh way too often. Also, this podcast does cover topics of sensitive nature, and as such, listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome back to that's your line. Hello. My name is Jen.
You're like, wait. I feel like I just heard that.
Yeah. Let me just repeat that for a second.
Yeah, and I'm Emily. Welcome back. Second episode of the year.
Whoa.
We're getting into it. Let's go.
Yes.
Well, what have you been up to?
Nothing. Well, okay. Moving. I'm in the middle of moving as we speak.
Yes.
So that basically is what I'm up to. I was like, nothing.
Ask, do you miss the feeling of moving? Or are you in this process and you're like, wow, I hate moving?
I hate moving so much.
I hate it.
I was dreading this. Honestly, it's like the worst part is like packing up all your shit and like I like organizing the new space and like getting to like kind of have a blank fresh start, but like actually getting my shit out of the old place and then doing like that deep move out clean on the old place, heinous.
Oh,
horrible.
Absolutely
The worst.
I hate cleaning. Let's just start
there.
Hate cleaning. Love organizing. Hate packing. Ew.
Yeah.
What do you mean I have to physically pick up my stuff and move it somewhere else to live somewhere else? Crazy work.
I know. I have so many books, okay? And I love my books, but I hate moving my books.
Yes. Well, here's my thing about books. Love them. I actually really love books. I'd love to have my own library with someday. So heavy. So heavy.
Literally so heavy. Like, I'm literally breaking my back moving over here in the middle of fucking winter for some reason.
No, relatable, because I too was feeling this way when, number one, we started construction projects in the middle of winter. Why? Second of all, decided to switch to a car instead of a truck in the middle of winter. Why?
Yeah, you
so
did that
reasons.
all wrong.
I know, we're living backwards over here. And guess what? I'll probably have the truck in time for the summer and then have a nice peaceful summer where I don't do anything, which might be nice, actually. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. What have I been up to? I feel like this time of year is always just so, like, weirdly slow. Like,
Blech.
yeah, well, it's like you get back into the work brain, but people are still catching up from the holidays, so not everybody's back to work yet. So things are just, like, weird and busy, but slow, and, like, I don't know. I don't like it. And then...
See, I feel like January and February are the worst because you genuinely have, like, nothing to look forward to, and it's cold and dark.
It's just kind of boring. Like your birthday is literally the highlight of my January, and then up until, like...
And it's the first day of the year.
March, April, it's depressing. And I'm like, what am I doing? Maybe I'll pick up a winter
See, in March,
sport.
April, I get, like, a little serotonin hit in, like... March, April, because I'm like, wow, the sun. Oh my god.
That's what I mean, though. But, like, specifically January, February, I'm like,
Yeah, it's the worst.
So, like, I'm thinking maybe I need to look at picking up, like, a winter hobby of some kind. I don't mind skiing. I will break my neck. That's a promise. But I don't mind it. That could be a thing. Besides that, skating's just fine. I'm getting kind of older, though. My ankles hurt, so...
See, I love skiing. Hate driving in the winter.
Hate driving in the winter. I know. Well, that's because it's just risky and scary, and I don't trust other people whatsoever.
And for what?
I know. I'm trying to think about what else that would be fun that I'm up to right now. I've really been trying to get into reading and even playing video games, really. But I've also been, like, in a weird space where things have been so busy and so crazy for so long that when I have a moment of free time, I just kind of like rot forever and then come back and keep doing stuff. So when I get past the rotting forever, I'm going to be doing so many cool things.
Love that for you. I'll see you in March, babe.
Literally, when the depression has sailed away on it, when the winter depression has figured itself out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just really casual. Well, I think it's your show today.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Should we just get right into it and spin the wheel of questions?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing you've ever bought on sale?
See, I am always buying things I like on sale because I spend too much time online.
Yeah, same.
I don't know about on sale. Would we consider like thrift store to be kind of like sale adjacent?
Yeah, that's like you found a deal. You found the deal of the century there.
Now I really gotta think, because I was, especially during the pandemic, I was really into thrifting, and I would find, but I would do it often enough where I like knew how to hunt the store and find like really cool shit.
Yeah.
I'm like looking around my house. I'm like, where did I get that from? Honestly, since we're going with thrifting adjacent, just because I'm a shopaholic, I can't truly give you a sales answer because that would require me remembering. That's not going to happen. I did actually buy from a thrift store a painting a long time ago, and I really like this painting, which it's funny because I feel like if you're normally talking about paintings from a thrift store, it's like 9 times out of 10 it's people being like, that bitch is haunted. I really like this painting because I'm pretty sure it's somebody who locally painted it. I don't think it's actual like an artist painting. I'm not to say that local people aren't artists, but I think we all know what I mean when I say that. A gallery person. But anyways, basically I bought this painting. It's on this huge canvas, and I got it on a discount at a thrift store because it looks like when whoever it was who owned this donated it, they obviously got it caught on something because it has a V-marked cut in it. But the painting itself is so interesting. It's of what looks like a Greek island, or is somewhere Mediterranean, and it's been hit by a storm. So all of these houses are just completely dilapidated and in ruins. But the painting itself is so bright. Like the sun is shining, there's not a cloud in the sky, the sea is calm. But the village, which is also beautiful, like the buildings are beautiful, decimated. And I don't know what it is. I just really like this painting.
I mean, it sounds beautiful.
Doesn't it? But it's like I think I like the contrast where it's like something so beautiful and tragic has happened, but the beauty is still there. But so is the tragedy.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, see, I like it too. It really speaks to
Makes
me.
you home.
Makes you home, you know? All right, what about you? What's your favorite thing you've ever bought on sale?
Okay, one of my favorite purchases, maybe not of all time, but from last year specifically, was when we went to Saskatoon Farm. I bought these amber hand-blown glasses, and they are honestly like so good. They are my favorite. I'm like, oh, they just like, they're like thick, and so when you like drink out of them, it's so satisfying. I'm like, I absolutely slayed with those.
See, you know what I feel like is very underrated when it comes to a drinking glass? Having the glass with thicker glass on the bottom so it is weighted when you put it down. I feel like that is such an overlooked thing.
It's like, and they feel just so good in your hand. Like, I can't tell you how obsessed I am with these glasses. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I did so good. Like, every time I drink out of that glass, I'm like, past Jen, you were cooking.
I love that moment, though, when instead of having buyer's regret, you have buyer's, whatever you call it, happiness.
Yeah,
buyer's ecstasy.
I've made a good choice.
When you look back on something that you bought and you're like, fuck, I did a good job. Wow! Can't believe I did that. Way to go, me.
If only I could do it every time.
Yeah, I usually just buyer's regret, but that's neither
here
nor there.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin for our next question.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever purchased?
You're asking me this for real? I buy weird shit literally every week.
I know, that's why I'm asking you that, because I don't really have anything that weird that I've bought.
The weirdest
Maybe probably
thing
if I bought something weird, it was for you.
Then yeah. You know, I can answer you. I just need to open one very specific drawer I have in my bedroom.
Oh God, is it like a fucking little box of teeth from mice that are from like Venezuela or something?
You are not that far off. The weirdest thing that I have ever bought online, or wait, is it just bought or bought online? Just bought.
Just bought.
Okay, well, for me, it was online. The weirdest thing I've ever bought was actually a. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show before. Probably. A taxidermy mystery box. And
okay.
so it comes with a few different taxidermy items, or biological collective pieces, I like to call them. And it includes like the wings of a, what's that? Do you remember in Animal Crossing those blue butterflies that have the sheen to them? They're like larger. I think it's a morphos. Yeah. Like the wings of a morphos butterfly. I have the jawbone of a gopher. I have some crocodile teeth. I have a very specific kind of snake skin. What else? I kind of have them stashed in a few places. But when I opened my drawer, those were the ones sitting on top.
What? This is not an official question.
Eggshell. I have that too.
What, why did you buy this?
I think because I've always had an interest in the post-mortem preservation aspect of nature and animals. So whether that is just like flowers or leaves or animal remains, I just think it's really neat. And I guess so that is one weird thing I bought. I do also have a goat skull that I've bought that's hanging out in my house that I just remembered.
Didn't you buy that from a show I worked on?
I think so. But yeah, it's like carved and stuff. And I don't know. This has just always been something that I've thought has been a very interesting and beautiful way of, like I said, the preservation of nature. I don't know. It's neat to be able to look at something and see how it lived, you know?
Fair enough.
Is it morbid? Probably. Is it terrifying? My husband would say yes. See,
I don't really find it like that morbid. I just feel like my only hope is that it's done responsibly, you know?
Absolutely. I believe in ethical sourcing, which I remember was a big deal when I was looking at getting these the taxidermy blind box that I ended up buying. How they sourced their materials was actually from a local wildlife rescue who was looking for sustainable ways of disposing remains, because you can't just have bodies of animals hanging around. So
yeah,
they kind of, depending on what people are interested in, go through different types of systems like this, either for study or for preservation. And I just thought the whole thing was very neat. So what's the weirdest thing that you have ever bought then? I know between us that I am the person who buys the weird quirky, wow, that's a word, quirky shit all the time. But is there anything super weird that you've bought?
I don't think so. I'm like looking around my house, like,
I mean, I could name one thing that you bought for one of our good friends that was pretty weird, like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Okay, I have bought some like weird looking things from a thrift store to give to people as kind of like joke gift. Mm-hmm. The piece of pottery that Emily is specifically talking about, it was like this crazy monster, and then I put a cacti in there, and
it looks like
I don't think he liked it.
It looks like monster cock. I loved it.
It did. I don't know. Like, when I gave it to him, he was like, "Oh, thank you."
See, I feel like it's one of those things though where it's novel enough where at first you're like, thanks for this really fucking ugly thing, but then it kind of grows on you, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, you know?
And
The
either way,
guilt
a
of
cactus is a
me.
cactus, so.
Exactly. You know what? Major slay.
All right, let's spin for our next question.
Have you ever reported someone to the police? Are you a narc?
Am I a narc?
Are you a rat?
I feel pretty confident. Probably. Do I remember? I'm trying to remember all the times in my life I've ever dialed 911.
I mean, we reported someone to the police because they hit your car and then drove away.
We did do that.
We did do that.
I think honestly that was the last time. Most of the times, or all of the times I think I've ever called 911 myself in my life has always been in a medical emergency. I've never narked to a police officer. That has not happened. Oh, wait. I don't know if this counts though.
What?
When I was like, I think 16 or 17, I might have talked about this on the show before. I had a police officer call me because basically the military program I was in, there was a lady who was in the program with me who was subject to physical violence from a man, and I knew both the man and the woman. So they called me and they wanted for me to give a personality statement or a character statement for the two people to kind of get a feel for. I think they were trying to follow up on different evidence and just on people who might have known more about the situation. And I did rat that boy out. I did not like him. I did do that.
I mean, you told the truth. I don't hear anything wrong with that.
You're like, I don't know. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I haven't really had a lot of instances in my life where I've needed to talk to the police outside of my job, to which I just know them casually. I do know the police casually, but not in the narc sense.
You know what? Fair enough.
Yes.
All right, let's spin for our final question.
You haven't told me if you've narked.
Well, I did that one time when someone hit your car. Like, I feel like I've like called the like cops in like those kind of situations, but I don't think I've really narked on anyone other than that.
That's fair. I feel like we're pretty good noodles between the two of us for the most part.
I don't really make a habit of talking to the police, so I try and keep my interaction as minimal as possible with those guys.
For real, I'm like, the less attention I have from these guys, the better I feel, so.
Absolutely.
Oh, I did have to talk to the police actually not that long ago, like maybe a year ago.
For?
They were looking for somebody in my neighborhood.
Oh.
But I had not seen who they were looking for, so they were very disappointed. And I said, I am so sorry.
Womp.
Yeah, and that was it. All right, I think we have one more question, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's spin the wheel.
Have you ever kept a journal?
Yes. I used to keep a journal
Currently?
when I was a kid. I do not keep one now.
Yeah, I used to keep one as a child as well. I would like to get back into it. I feel like it would be restorative for me, you know? To like get pen to paper.
For me, I feel like when I was keeping a journal, I was keeping it as a kid, I definitely kept it for different reasons, in part documenting experiences or like venting or whatever. I feel like if I was to do a journal today, I would use it specifically for therapeutic reasons. I'd write down all the things that piss me off and then light that shit on fire. Because I feel like that would make me feel good.
I support that 100%. You should do that right now.
Hell yeah, I'll do it with you whenever.
Actually, instead of talking about crime today, we're just going to vent about things we don't like and then light them on
What's
fire.
everything that we hate? And let's light it on fire. We'll be here for literally
Honestly,
10 years.
Yeah, this episode's never ending.
Okay. Wait.
Wait.
Now it's gone. I had a thought. It disappeared. It does that sometimes. But no, you said you were wanting to keep a journal or maybe looking to get back into it?
Yeah, I would like to. I used to keep it one as a kid, but yeah, I haven't really ever been consistent. So I feel like it would be something good for me, but
Yeah.
I'm adding it to my list of never-ending things
Hobbies?
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, my issue is that I like to buy pretty journals and then never use them because they are so pretty.
Yeah, I have that exact same issue.
It's a good
It's a
problem. Not
plague.
really. It's a bad problem.
Yeah.
I have too much stuff. All right. What do I think your story is today? I think that somebody went, "Dear diary, I've murdered a man," and then another person read it, and they were like, "I'm gonna call the police right now!" And then they called the police, and then the person who wrote the journal is like, "You're a fucking narc." And I think that's your story today.
I'm giving you 0.001%.
Shut up. Hey,
Out of 100.
0.01 is pretty good. That means I got one word in that entire huge sentence right, so.
Yeah, journal, the one I gave you.
Cute. Okay, I have no idea what we're doing here today.
All right, we're going to talk about Ethan Robert Crumbley. And he was born on April 28th, 2006 in Atlantic Beach, Florida, to his parents, Jennifer and James. Now, Ethan's childhood didn't seem great. Both of his parents had prior minor criminal records from 1995 to 2005 for DUI and check fraud. They both worked in business development and marketing before moving the family to Washington a few years later. A former neighbor said that shortly after the family's subsequent move to Michigan in 2014 and 2015, Jennifer and James often left their son home alone without a phone as they frequented bars in downtown Lake Orion. The neighbor became so concerned that she filed an anonymous phone complaint to CPS, but she did not know if any action was taken, which is pretty sad because I feel like things usually have to be pretty bad for like the neighbors to notice.
Oh, yeah.
So Ethan's only friend moved away at the end of October 2021, which is so sad. And the family dog died, plunging him into a deep depression, which
that's
relatable. If my dog literally even like thinks about dying ever, I'm gonna like sob uncontrollably.
Well, Dewey's living forever, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. So as early as March 2021, he started sending his mother quote-unquote disturbing texts about his state of mind, which included claims about demons and ghosts inside the home. He also reportedly videotaped himself torturing animals, made Molotov cocktails, and sketched himself committing a school shooting, something he also joked about with a friend via text message, which is really not great.
No. Big no-no.
Absolutely not. So at one point, Ethan allegedly kept a baby bird's head in a jar, which he later placed in a school bathroom.
What?
But that one's kind of like I don't know if that's actually true or if it actually they found out it was someone else. It's kind of confusing, specifically this baby bird in the jar.
Right. Okay.
So that may or may not be him. Unconfirmed.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maybe there's some other weirdo at a school. We don't know.
That's true. I feel like when you're mixing a bunch of kids together, you're going to have more than one oddball sticking out about certain things.
For sure. So his parents allegedly never sought therapy for him for any of those incidents or behaviors, even though some of them were very concerning.
I was going to say that's a choice. Okay.
So a psychologist, Colin King, later said that Ethan was raised in a turbulent home by parents who left him alone for hours, argued in front of him, and weren't discreet when discussing infidelity, divorce, and suicide. He was forced to figure out what to do with his beloved dead dog, and, quote, he can be considered a feral child.
That's a sad thing to say about a kid.
100%. I don't know.
It's sad.
It's all very sad. Like, no kid deserves to be treated like that.
Absolutely not. Especially when you tie in like a beloved family pet into this. Like, devastating.
Truly. So, on November 26, 2021, Ethan and his dad, James, went shopping for Black Friday at a local gun shop. James purchased a gun under his own name, and Ethan posted about it on social media later that day. His mom, Jennifer, referred to the gun as Ethan's new Christmas present in a social media post. In Michigan, minors cannot legally possess guns other than within limited circumstances, such as when it is a hunting with an adult. So clearly this was not the case with this particular assault rifle.
Right.
A few days later, on November 29th, 15-year-old Ethan, who was a sophomore student at Oxford High School in Oxford Township, Michigan, had his first of two concerning meetings at his school. So the first meeting occurred after a teacher spotted Ethan using his phone to search for ammunition and reported him. During the discussion, Ethan told them that he and his mom, Jennifer, had recently traveled to a shooting range and that, quote, shooting sports are a family hobby. So school officials left a voicemail and an email for Jennifer. She did not respond, but later texted her son writing, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You just have to learn not to get caught. Which is fantastic parenting, by the way.
That's a choice. Okay. Weird.
On November 30th, the second meeting occurred after another teacher found a violent drawing on Ethan's desk, described as a drawing of a semi-automatic handgun pointing at the words, "The thoughts won't stop, help me." In another section of the note was a drawing of a bullet with the following words above that bullet, quote, blood everywhere. Between the drawing of the gun and the bullet is a drawing of a person who appears to have been shot twice and bleeding. Below that figure is a drawing of a laughing emoji. Further down on that drawing are the words, quote, my life is useless. And to the right of it are the words, the world is dead. The teacher took a look at the drawing, which was on a math worksheet, and reported Ethan, which I feel like is a great choice.
Yes.
Like, outstanding there. Actually, perfect.
No notes.
So he was taken to a guidance counselor's office where school staff phoned Ethan's parents requesting that they come to the school. What no one knew yet is that Ethan had his dad's new gun in his backpack at that very moment. Like, literally in his backpack as he's on his way to the guidance counselor's office.
Right.
And he was allegedly quite worried that it was going to be found. He said that he just knew the sheriffs were going to burst into the office and arrest him because there was no way after they saw that drawing that they weren't going to search the backpack. You would hope.
Yeah, I was going to say you would hope so because he has been displaying a fair amount of concerning behavior, but also has the self-awareness to know that he is.
So the school did have legal grounds to search his backpack and locker, but they never did so. What? For reasons which are not made clear.
That's a child.
That's a child literally who drew shooting someone.
Okay.
So
I have nothing to add.
According to the superintendent of Oxford Community Schools, while waiting for his parents to arrive, school counselors did not observe any behavior from Ethan that indicated to them that he might harm others. Which I feel like is a little bit bullshit because that drawing for me is enough.
They're like, he didn't actually go around, I'm assuming yet, but we'll see when we get there, shooting people. He just drew it. What are you saying? He's guilty of a drawing? It's like, clearly, what are we talking about?
Clearly his mental state is not good.
Yeah, this is literally a cry for help. Like, he literally wrote help on a piece of paper with a gun at one point. These signs are there.
How much more clear could he be?
It does not get more clear than that.
So, upon their arrival, Jennifer and James were shown the drawing, which Ethan had scribbled over by that point in an attempt to conceal its contents, and the school instructed his parents to seek counseling for their son within 48 hours. Otherwise, the school would call CPS. His parents, despite being told that he was displaying suicidal ideation, quote, resisted the idea of taking their son home at the time, did not inform school officials that they had purchased a gun for him 4 days earlier, and at 10:54 a.m., they left the school. Despite being told their son was suicidal and had drawn a handgun on his homework with the words "help me," neither James nor Jennifer tried to ascertain the gun's location when they returned home. By the time the meeting between the school staff and Ethan's parents had taken place at the school that morning, Ethan had already placed the weapon he was going to use somewhere else on the school grounds. So he's like, haha, they didn't find it yet, so I'm going to go hide it now.
Uh-huh. So active planning in the works. Cool.
Yes. So Ethan was then returned to class that same morning as he had no prior disciplinary issues. His mom texted him at 12:38 p.m. to see how he was doing. At 12:50 p.m., surveillance footage showed Ethan entering a bathroom and exiting about a minute later holding a semi-automatic handgun.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately after exiting the bathroom, Ethan started firing in the hallway as hundreds of students passed through, transitioning from one class to another. When the students began fleeing, he methodically and deliberately walked down the hallway and shot into classrooms at anyone who was unable to escape until he moved on toward another classroom. Due to the quick response by students and staff, Ethan was unable to actually enter any of the classrooms. So, according to the students, a voice over the intercom alerted them to an active shooter, and their teachers started locking and barricading doors and covering windows, convincing them it was not a drill. Others recounted hearing loud banging sounds before they realized the noises were gunshots and quickly locked the door. One student hid in a toilet stall recalled hearing a gun being cocked outside of the bathroom. And once the school had been secured, Ethan opened the bathroom door to find several bodies lying on the floor. At 12:51 p.m., police received the first of approximately 100 911 calls about the shooting and headed to the school. Within 2 to 3 minutes of first responder arrival at the scene, Ethan was arrested, unharmed by a deputy assigned as a school resource officer and a second deputy. Ethan allegedly still had 7 rounds of ammunition loaded into his gun and 2 15-round magazines on him. Ethan was placed under suicide watch after being taken to the county's juvenile detention facility. He initially maintained his right to silence. The entire shooting lasted about 5 minutes and occurred in the southern end of the school building. A total of 32 spent bullet casings were found at the school.
Woof.
Which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So at 1:22 p.m., just 7 minutes after the first news reports came in of a shooting at the school, and before any mention of who was responsible, Jennifer texted her son again saying, quote, "Ethan, don't do it." So they knew.
Yeah, they
did.
They
fucking knew.
Well, my thing is that at this point, I'm assuming that all this documentation of like warning signs were just drawings that people had seen and picked up at school for the most part. I don't remember if you mentioned they were from home or not. But if those are signs that are being displayed at least somewhat publicly, behind closed doors, there would be way more warning signs.
Well, literally, like, as I said earlier, he was literally texting his mom, telling her disturbing things and, like, making it clear that he was obviously suicidal.
Yes.
At 1:37 p.m., James called 911 to report his Shannon handgun as missing and that Ethan could be the gunman at Oxford High. Which, no shit.
Yeah.
Literally no shit. So 3 students named Madison Baldwin, age 17, Tate Meyer, age 16, and Hannah St. Juliana, age 14, were killed at the scene, and 8 other people, including a teacher, were injured. Tate was reportedly shot while attempting to stop Ethan. He died in a police vehicle en route to the hospital. And on December 1st, a 4th student, Justin Schilling, age 17, died in the hospital from his injuries, which is really fucking tragic.
All of this is super tragic. Like, just kids, man.
I know. So, according to students and parents, rumors about threats of a mass shooting at the school were circulating before it occurred, prompting some students to stay home the day of the incident. Earlier that month, following an act of vandalism, which included the hurling of a severed deer head from the school roof into the courtyard, school administrators published a note to parents saying they'd been investigating the rumors but found no threat. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard asserted that his office was also unaware of any credible threats prior to the shooting.
Hang on. I just need to go back quick. You're telling me that there was a severed deer head thrown off the roof into the courtyard and nobody, and they were all like, yeah, kids just do that. What?
I mean, to me, the damning part is like if there were kids staying home from school because there was like a rumor going around, that was clearly a very serious. And the fact that
if the kids are taking it seriously, we are so far gone. Like,
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, kids, not just like, it's been a hot minute since I've been one, but I feel like kids typically
they're pretty tuned in.
They don't take stuff super seriously to begin with. Like, life is still very I feel like most kids have a very cavalier attitude about serious things to a certain degree, especially at that age. If they are taking it serious enough to stay home from school, that means we are beyond the point of, like, the adults in this situation should have started caring like way before this.
Yeah, and I feel like it's crazy to feign ignorance when when rumors like that are going around and end up true. Like, how can you say you didn't know?
Exactly.
So officials told reporters that the cameras showed some of the actual shooting and that Ethan had clear intent to kill other students, saying he fired through barricaded doors and aimed for the heads and chests of victims at close range. A search warrant was also executed at Ethan's home, where a cell phone, a journal, several long guns, and other items were seized as part of the investigation into the shooting and Ethan's prior social media posts. The cell phone contained 2 videos of Ethan filmed the night before the incident, in which he talked about his plans to shoot and kill the students at the school the following day. The journal also detailed his, quote, desire to shoot up the school and was quoted as including, hopefully my shooting will cause Biden to get impeached, because this school district was actually within like Biden's like jurisdiction, I guess.
I
don't know.
Okay.
Americans are weird.
Weird. What a weird little tidbit. Also, in my opinion, pretty much completely unrelatable, but okay.
Yeah, like, okay, guy.
Right.
Go off.
Okay.
Ethan was arraigned by a magistrate on homicide and attempted homicide shortly after he was arrested, to follow for continued custody, but was not immediately charged as an adult. On December 1st, 2021, he was charged with terrorism causing death, first-degree murder, assault with the intent to murder, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and the possibility of more charges being added as the investigation continued. According to the Associated Press, this appeared to be the first time in U.S. history where a terrorism charge was filed in relation to a gunfire incident on school grounds. The terrorism charge is provided under Michigan law for, quote, an act that is intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population. In this case, the Oxford High School community. Ethan was charged as an adult, and the judge, Nancy T. Karnick, entered a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Ethan was appointed an attorney by the court after his parents hired lawyers for themselves, but did not do so for their son. Like, they're just so shitty. All the way to the end.
I was going to say, literally from the first thing you've said, all they've been is shitty this whole time.
On January 26, 2022, Ethan announced that he would plead insanity via court filing made by his lawyers. On October 24th, 2022, he pled guilty to all of the charges and withdrew his intent to pursue an insanity defense. He also admitted during questioning on the day that his own money was used to purchase the weapon, and claimed the gun was not locked away on the day of the shooting. On September 29th, 2023, Judge Kwame Rao ruled that Ethan was eligible for a sentence of life without parole. In his ruling, the judge said that while Ethan's youth and difficulties at home were mitigating factors, they did not outweigh the seriousness of the crime. The judge also pointed out that Ethan's obsession with violence had persisted during his time in jail, citing an incident where Ethan accessed violent material online using a hacked tablet. As a juvenile, Ethan was entitled to a hearing under a 2012 U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Miller v. Alabama to determine whether he would be eligible for parole after serving at least 25 years. On December 9th of 2023, it was announced that Ethan had been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And right before the sentencing, Ethan apologized to the courtroom and stated that, quote, "Any sentence that the victims asked for, I ask you do impose it on me," and that he was truly sorry. After turning 18 on April 28th, 2024, Ethan was moved to Oaks Correctional Facility in Manistee, Michigan. On July 7th, 2024, new attorneys for Ethan filed a motion asking to withdraw the guilty plea and request a new sentencing on the basis of ineffective assistance of counsel. His attorneys claimed that his mother used alcohol during pregnancy, which was not raised by his previous defense attorneys. The prenatal alcohol exposure could have caused Ethan to suffer from cognitive adaptive dysfunctions due to the fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. And the judge did not ensure that Ethan understood the consequences of entering a guilty plea in light of his cognitive impairments and history of mental illness, which I feel so conflicted about because he was a minor and I feel like he did not have anyone in his court to like help him navigate through this process.
Not at all. Like this is quite literally one of the most preventable things. Like this is a kid saying over and over again, I need help, and not a single person took notice of that. Like that is such a drastic failure on so many different fronts.
Like literally every adult in this kid's life has failed him.
Every single one of them. I would say even including the school, to be perfectly honest.
Yes. Like clearly they could have stopped that immediately if they just looked in his backpack.
Yeah. But then that's the thing too, is like that is a part of your responsibility for keeping everybody safe. I understand like people feel the type of way all the time about this stuff where it's like, oh, it's an infringement on people's, personal life, whatever these things. When children are children, there's a difference between infringing on somebody personally and keeping the collective, because you are an institution that has children in it, safe. And that does mean calling into question these different things and looking into these different areas, even if they make you uncomfortable.
I 100% agree. And I think when it comes to the safety of kids in school, the collective is more important than your individual rights.
Of course. Because that's kind of the point. It's like, as a minor, you're not, how do I say this? The way that the system is set up is legally on all fronts, you are not deemed to be responsible enough as an individual until you are of a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
That means your priorities as an individual and your rights as an individual do become so once you are of age, but you are still of a vulnerable community up until that point. Therefore, a part of a collective identity. And that is okay.
I agree. So on December 19th, the judge rejected both requests, writing that the plea was knowingly, voluntarily, and accurately given, and there was no defect in the plea taking process, which I feel conflicted about, as we just said.
Right.
On May 6, 2025, Ethan's appeal to withdraw his guilty plea was dismissed by the Michigan Court of Appeals. A second appeal against Ethan's life sentence was also rejected by the same court. After announcing the charges against Ethan, prosecutor Karen McDonald told reporters that her office was also considering criminal charges against Ethan's parents, Jennifer and James, in connection with the shooting, to which I say fucking good.
Good.
As you should.
Yep,
as you freaking should. She said responsible gun ownership was crucial to stop tragedies, and those who are irresponsible with their firearms should be held accountable.
And guess what?
This woman is fucking spitting facts.
Literally. And guess what? As your parent and as the people who were, governing this situation, literally their full responsibility to be teaching these things.
Absolutely. So on December 3rd, both parents were charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for their failure to secure the gun that Ethan used in the shooting. It is a rare instance of parents being charged in relation to a school shooting. James and Jennifer were the first U.S. parents to be charged with having responsibility for a mass school shooting by a child, which I'm not hearing anything wrong with that. Like, as they fucking should.
Yeah.
So after the charges were announced, an alert was issued hours later by state authorities, as James and Jennifer had left the Oxford Township area and had not returned as expected to meet with their attorneys and turn themselves in. Shortly after, James and Jennifer's attorneys told Detroit Free Press that their clients did not flee. They totally did not flee, but rather left town for their own safety and would return to be arraigned. However, both parents... Yeah, they totally didn't flee. Yeah. Except for both of them missed their 4 p.m. arraignment and remained at large.
Wow, shocking.
So, Under Sheriff McCabe told CNN that attorneys had not talked with the parents after attempting to reach them by phone and text without success. CNN reported that Jennifer and James had withdrawn $4,000 from an ATM in Rochester Hills on December 3rd and that they had turned off their cell phones. But they're totally not fleeing.
No.
Absolutely
that could not possibly be it. What is happening? Do these people just lack the ability to reason? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yes. They're really dumb, actually.
Okay.
So, late on December 3rd, the U.S. Marshal released wanted posters for James and Jennifer and also announced rewards of up to $10,000 for information leading to their arrests. At around 11:05 p.m. on December 3rd, police received a tip from a business owner who found James and Jennifer's vehicles in his parking lot in Detroit, about 40 miles from Oxford. The man also said he saw Jennifer, who fled upon being spotted. Police responded to the scene and about 20 minutes later established a perimeter in the area, and around 2 a.m. on December 4th, police took the couple into custody after finding them in a first-floor room at a nearby commercial building. James and Jennifer were unarmed and very distressed during their arrests, and there was no indication they had planned to surrender. Obviously. Mm-hmm. On December 4th, they pled not guilty to the charges, and a bail of $500,000 each was set for them. And the judge refused to lower the bail because they were obviously flight risks.
Yeah, well.
They tried once.
Yeah. You only get one time, I'm pretty sure. Preferably no times, in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah, preferably none. So federal prosecutors began investigating whether federal laws were violated when James purchased the handgun for his son. James and Jennifer were held at Oakland County Jail, where their son was also being confined. As a result, all 3 were put into isolation, monitored under suicide watch, and were not allowed to interact for an indefinite amount of time. Jennifer's trial concluded on February 6, 2024, and James on March 14th. Juries found them guilty on all 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. On April 9th, 2024, they were given the maximum sentence of 15 years in prison with the possibility of parole after 10 years. Jennifer was imprisoned in the Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility and James in the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility. And that is our tale for today.
Well, just saying, really fucking negligent. Oh my god.
The worst parents.
You said your first couple things and I was like, wow, like these parents don't sound great. And like I try not to say anything too early in the story just because they always end up turning out in different sorts of ways. But like over and over again, it's like the same like just consistent negligent behavior. Like that is so wild to me. So wild.
Yeah, and I think I was like, because I was looking up like his, because obviously they took his journal, and I think in like one of the entries he was like, I literally cannot do this anymore. Like no one cares about my feelings. Like I have to do something. Like it was a lot of very like desperate like feelings that were coming out in the journal. So it's clear that this kid was like literally screaming for help.
Yeah.
And it was just going straight into a void.
Well, yeah, because it's like beyond the screaming for help constantly to literally every adult that you know, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. I just feel like this is all this story in particular was all so fucking avoidable if they had just given like a small shit about their fucking child.
Or anybody,
Or
really.
anybody.
I still hold the school partially responsible for a lot of this because there is absolutely no way that other kids did not know exactly how he felt, because that's what happens. People talk. There is no way that there was a teacher who wasn't listening in, or at least had an idea that something was not right at home, and that clearly if they had access to these drawings, like any of the school people had access to these drawings, then they definitely had an understanding of what exactly was going on. And to do nothing?
I know. It's like literally like CPS failed him because the neighbor called CPS on his parents.
Yep.
They didn't do anything. His
Nothing.
parents failed him.
Yep.
The school failed him.
Yep.
Like multiple teachers and like administrative people failed him. Like it's just like, I don't know. It's just horrific because 4 other kids had to die and now this kid's in jail for life. Like,
but that's what I mean. Like, why? Like, I understand when people are like, oh, like, you don't want to make such drastic moves on something that could be so small. But at the same time, it's like, look at the cost, right? Like, if anybody had decided to give even a half of a shit, this probably wouldn't have happened. Like, nobody escalates to this point if they're getting help.
Yeah, and it's just like, even if they had been wrong, it would have been way better for them to be wrong about him wanting to do this than for them to have an inkling, do nothing, and then be right.
But that's
which is
what I mean. Why would it be worth it to take those bets? Like, that's the part I'm not understanding. It's like, okay, you either have some uncomfortable conversations with a kid that may or may not be true, or you have those conversations and then maybe do something about it. Like, I don't get it.
I think that's the moral of the story. Maybe fucking do something about it.
Yeah, maybe when we hear really shitty things that we actually could help,
we should just like do something.
We should maybe do something about them.
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody comes up to you and they're like, I really need help, you don't just go, oh wow, that sucks. You say, okay,
maybe I should do something about it.
Maybe I can do something about it. And like, that's the thing that people don't even realize either, is that if somebody comes up to you for help, if it is not within your ability to help somebody, that doesn't mean that you can't find the resources that they need. Because not everybody has the skills to get the help
to find
that they
the resources,
need, or to find the help that they need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I just think we need to do better, because kids dying at school is horrendous.
Literally,
like, and it shouldn't happen.
Like, kids dying, period, awful. Kids dying at school, exceptionally awful. That's where they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to go there to learn and to grow and not to die.
But I don't know. I feel like I've kind of been sharing my piece throughout all. This is just a tragedy, in my opinion.
Truly.
All right. Well, I mean, if you like today's episode, wow. But also, leave us a review.
For some reason.
Whoa. Please leave us a review on wherever you're listening to our podcast. 5 stars, as always, is appreciated. Beyond that, we have our website, which is www.wheelofcrime.com. You can check us out on there. We have our social media, which is on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all at Wheel of Crime. We have our Patreon, which is Wheel of Crime at Patreon. We have a website, which is www.wheelofcrime.com. And we have our email, which is wheelofcrime@gmail.com. If you would like to be a part of our listener episode in February, which is coming up hot here, please go and leave us a little story in our listener story form. It is up on all of our social media. But yes, you can leave us a listener story about anything, really. Maybe you listen to this and you have your own story. Feel free to write in and share. We do paranormal and crime stories on our listener show, so we're not too specific. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all. We'll see you next week for another new episode. Okay, bye.
Bye.